Hello everyone. New moon in Cancer happening on the 9th or the 10th in July, depending on your area, 2021. So I got this little setup for you guys here. It took me a moment. I wanted to film this earlier today, but I couldn't. And I recorded all of this already, and here I am recording it again. So it's pretty frustrating, but we're gonna make it happen. So 6:16 p.m. is going to be the full peak, high peak, if you will, of this new moon. So it's a very powerful time. So check your location. It's 6:16 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So work that out for your location. The moon is 18 degrees 1 minute. So I see this energy of 1 in the 18 degrees. So let's break down 18 in numerology. Okay, 18 is about giving donations or monetary gifts. Do you feel that you need to receive that in your time of need? Do you also take the opportunity to give? So just seeing the yin and yang of that, and finding, peace in whichever side that you're mostly on right now. 18 deals with humanitarianism. It deals with independence. It deals with having all this celebration around freedom, independence right now, and also meaning building something that's lasting. So right now in this new moon, you can have compassion for yourself and think, okay, I need to build something that's lasting or add on to what I have already, right? So whenever we feel like we need to do something new, we sometimes will talk down to ourselves mentally, and we've done a lot, right? I've done a lot. So we have to recognize that within ourselves and then say, okay, what can I add, right? What can I add that's lasting, that will last, until, this whole life chapter is done, right? So then I wanted to break down the number 1, because 1 and 8. So breaking down 1, when I think of 1, I think of leadership, self-leadership, working by yourself. And if you think of being a 1 life path, when you add up your birthday numbers, if you're a 1, that means that you need to learn how to do things by yourself. And that's how you'll win in life. And that's your life lesson, is to learn, how do I do things by myself? So 1 is self-mastery, self-sufficiency. 8 is balance and harmony, and also in infinity. When you think of building something that's lasting, what 18 means, I see the same thing. So the strong 18 message could be, how can you take leadership of yourself or whatever situation you're in the best way you can, master it, and also building something that's lasting and having compassion while you're doing that, the whole humanitarianism, right? So, and that's going to lead also in the home for the 7th house, where Cancer is, the sun and the moon in Cancer. In Cancer season, happy birthday to all the Cancers out there, right? So when we look at the chart, we have the 7th house, which is marriage and other partnerships. So it's in the private sector of the chart, if you will, okay? And it's all covering the home environment, the family, your creativity and work. So it's really the internal focus of self that we'll be focusing on for this new moon. Something that came to me that I shared on one of my Facebook pages this morning is mood, right? The mood you're in when you first wake up is going to really build on how your day will be. So your mood creates your day. Make today the day of positive actions towards what you truly need, okay? So in reading this, I realized that I wrote the wrong thing. So your mood creates your day. Make today the day of positive actions towards what you truly need. And I remember a long time ago, I learned the difference between your wants and your needs. what you want is nice, and you can get that once your basic needs are met, right? So it's really about what you need right now. Because if you need a certain type of emotion, that's your priority. So when we start the day and when we go to sleep, it's really what we're telling ourselves and how we're programming in our mind. And with this Cancer emotional water sign moon coming up, we can channel this water energy within us, and we all have it because we're made up of liquid, right? To channel that in a positive way. Now, the message that I got while I was writing all of this out here was love. And then the other message is someone that truly cares for me. And then the other message is see the good or better outcome. And I was thinking of putting see the best or see the good in everything. And that's a good way of thinking, right? And also see that there's a better outcome to whatever you're going through. If everything is great for you right now, great. Still check into your chart and keep that positive energy going. If things are not that great and there's a working process, then this is when the affirmations really come in. Like everything that I know, I teach, I work with, this is where it comes in. And once we learn something, then that's great. That's positive. We can implement it in our lives, right? So I want to look at two aspects. I'm trying to go through this kind of fast because I feel creative. The moon is in Taurus today, probably switched out. I don't know what time. It's going to go into Gemini. When the moon's in Gemini, we want to talk a lot, even when it's in Virgo, but mostly when it's in Gemini because they're both ruled by Mercury, right? So the Gemini moon is leading up to the 9th of the Cancer new moon, right? So keep in mind that on this new moon, we're setting our intention, and then when the full moon in Cancer comes up, hopefully by then, these goals that we have written down and working on for ourselves will manifest. If it manifests on another full moon before the full moon in Cancer comes up, then that's great. That means that, you know, it worked for you. So something positive happened for you and it manifests really fast. So just being realistic with whatever we're setting our goal for, and being realistic is really, because when someone says that, and when I say that and I hear it, it's like, oh, I don't believe that it's going to happen. But maybe setting steps, you know, levels to the goal. So you might see the end goal, but then there's other steps in between getting there to get the attention you need. And because I went through the first and second aspects, and now I have to re-record it, I can see where everything is unfolding. And it's so funny whenever they say I'm getting these downloads and it sounds pretentious, but it's really not. Like, I'm like, whatever. Like, we all get ideas, and sharing them not only helps me, but I'm hoping that it will help whoever is watching this video. So let's get to it. I thought this was a good aspect because it's a new moon. So moon sextile Uranus, and a sextile is 60 degrees. It is complementary, right? So it's really making each other feel good, the moon and Uranus. That's how I interpret it, right? The energy exchange, it's creation, and it's immediate productivity, right? And with that immediate productivity, things are getting done, there's a reaction. So how can we use this positive aspect and not focus in on anything? So can the moon sextile Uranus help you? What is it about? It's harmonious. It wants to get things done with ease. And, you know, for the other ones, I didn't put down the degree, but 3 degrees, 54 minutes, okay? But if you want to work with this aspect, you can work with it for like 1 hour. That would be good. I will write stuff down in the comments below so that you'll see that, okay? If there's something I didn't say in here, it will be in the comments, okay? So with the moon sextile Uranus, you want to feel connected to the universe, the earth. You want to feel like you are bigger than your physical body. You're not an ant. You want to feel connected, and you can pull in on that energy and really connect to it. And you with this aspect, whether it's in your birth chart and you're like, whoa, this is my aspect in my birth chart and it's on this new moon, I'm going to really tap into this energy, really powerful. Or if it's not in your birth chart but you want to connect to it, great. You have a strong Uranus, you have a strong moon, great. You want to look towards a far-reaching future idea that might not seem possible, but it's a great idea and you want to make it great. You want to make it the best it can and you want to make it perfect, even though nothing is perfect, but as close as can be. Also, it's about emotional freedom and independence from your family or your environment. You may feel influence at this new moon to think about living on your own. So with this aspect, make sure that you don't destroy the good things that you have. That's one of the things that came through on this, okay? Not considering someone's advice to you. You know, maybe you've said certain things, and this is a download. Maybe you've said certain things to someone and now they're giving you all this advice, but you have to filter it out yourself. And remember that this aspect comes along with a very stormy, emotional mood swing, right? So just being mindful of that, right? Also, the positive is that you can stand out in a crowd with this aspect. So you're channeling, you're working with this aspect. Do you need to stand out in a crowd with something coming up in this new moon cycle in these next 2 weeks leading up to the full moon? This also has a very independent streak to ruin your personal life. So be very careful. You know, one good thing can also have a negative outcome. Now, the lesson in this aspect is how we go about doing what we feel we need to do. So just be mindful of that, okay? Just be mindful of how you're going about doing that. Let me move on. I don't want to linger on this. Another thing is you're happy to be detached from society when you feel that you need to. So this aspect has that type of energy with it, okay? Now this Uranus is in Pisces, okay? Yes, okay, this Uranus is in Pisces, okay? Sextiling the moon. That's in Cancer, okay? Water, right? So let's look at the Venus conjuncts Mars. Conjunction is 0 degree. Conjunction is a union coming together, right? We can think of that conjunction. It's coming together, right? So we can think of that like a road, like a path. So that's an easy aspect to remember, okay? This one is a neutral aspect, okay? And we want to think of the energies fusion. It's like a fusion together. It's combining. It's binding action, and it's concentrated. So how are you going to focus this energy? The Venus and Mars is like the Venus is the feminine, Mars is the masculine, but they're passionate. They'll fight for what they want. They're very passionate in love. This is just a very strong aspect, fiery, and it's in fiery Leo. So if you have a strong, Leo aspect in your chart, you can tap into this energy. Remember, Venus is passionate love, sensuality, and harmony. Now, love and relationships, try not to be too sensitive about what the person is saying to you. Don't take it personal. Hear what the other person has to say. Don't be offended, and think about it later, and maybe think about, what can I learn from this? What's something good that I can learn from this, and really balance it out. And don't let it block your happiness or your end goal. So with this aspect, know that this Venus conjuncts Mars, you have to be really in control of your emotions. And this is where meditation comes in, and journaling, writing things down. This Venus conjunct Mars in Leo, it's a very social, physical, sensual, sexual energy. And it also brings about a popularity aspect. So is there something that you want to work on that you really care about and you want it to get attention? So you can work on that. They're natural charmer, naturally charming people, great at handling crowds in public. So you can use this aspect to big yourself up, to feel good, and to really connect to it and place this type of frequency, this energy within you in your meditation, okay? And I really should teach a class on that. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to write it down so that I learn. Okay, so I'm going to write that down, okay? Now, don't be selfish with this aspect. Think of confidence is your word, because when you're pulling in energy for self and to dominate, it can get selfish. So you want it to be more confident, so that it more people can vibe on the frequency that you're on. Okay, so this is a good aspect to make up with someone, right? So it's like not staying angry at someone for too long, because remember, this aspect can also take things personally, because Venus is about beauty and myself, and so is Mars. Is about self and preservation, and you need that energy. So it's a good harmonious aspect to make up with. Okay, and you can use that for a healthy relationship or a better relationship, or to feel that energy within yourself, and you come as a full package. And then for the next or the new relationship, it will be great. Okay, so you can look at it either way. Now look at Mercury squares Neptune. Mercury squares Neptune is big expectations. Okay, trying to read my own handwriting. Weighs strong on your mind. So don't beat yourself up. The Mercury is the mind, the way you communicate, and the Neptune is very spiritual. And remember, the square is more of a dynamic aspect. It's a challenge. You're squaring up 90 degrees. It's about tension, action, and where there's an action, there's a reaction. Okay, it's like an earthquake, if you will. It is a challenge. Okay, bringing it back to the challenge. So that's what the mind is thinking. It's thinking, okay, this is a challenge, there's a tension here. So recognize the tension. It's nothing, not everything's going to be fluffy. So your communication versus your spiritual side, like, you know what you came here to do. So how can you master this big, I have a big expectation, and it's weighing heavy on your mind. Okay, and I didn't look up more on this aspect, but there's more to this aspect, so please look into it. But work on focus. This is what I downloaded. Okay, work on your focus. What do you really want to do? Don't block yourself. Be in the moment. You know what you want, but don't do it. And that's what the aspect talks about. You know what you want to do, but you just don't do it. For some reason, it's just like standing still. It's kind of like today, this morning. It was just kind of like, okay, I needed to work through some stuff, and then I was able to focus, right? So self-work to combat this square. Okay, so with this kind of square, you have to do a lot of self-work, and that's where that whole shadow work came into play. And it's really about looking at your past, writing down anything that was harmful, hurtful, any kind of things from childhood that you can remember. If you write it down, and then if you really look into the psychology of it, because these aspects are, it's first form of psychology, really. But if you look at psychology as we know it today, that was made fun of when it first started, and now it's socially more acceptable, even though there's some people that make fun of it, but they have problems. Anyway, we all do. So self-work to combat this square. Motivation, do it, get up. Okay, so motivation is great, but sometimes you got to motivate the motivation. Okay, and I feel like I should coin that. I had never heard anyone say it before, but sometimes you got to motivate the motivation to get things done, because it's just like a habit. And I was talking to one of my cousins about this. It's a habit, like getting up and brushing your teeth. You just have to do it. So let's talk about Cancer. Cancer is in the 7th house, okay? So, yeah, whichever one of those aspects you want to work with, let me know. If you're watching this video, please put like a smiley face or 3 stars. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to make everyone do 3 stars. That's my thing. I like to put 3 stars on there. It has a positive meaning for me. I'll probably break it down in another video. But, you know, put 3 stars as a comment, because that helps this channel. If you're watching this video, you're benefiting from the information. So just put like 3 stars or a smiley face, or, you know, something. That way the algorithm will help this channel. Okay, so the 7th house is about marriage and other partners, and I believe the 7th house is Cancer's house, and we have is Leo's house, and we have Cancer there in the 7th house. So everything Cancer is experiencing will be about this 7th house feeling. Okay, now we have Leo is in the 8th house, and the 8th house, of course, is Scorpio's house. It's about the shared resources. Okay, and let me go back to the 7th house with Cancer. It's awareness of yourself and your relationship with others. Okay, so for all of us, we're all in this Cancer energy, where we have to be aware of how we communicate, how our emotions and how we think of our moon is our emotions, right? Just to break it down very simple, the moon is our emotions, the sun is self. How does our emotion and what we think about ourselves and what we want for ourselves, how does that affect our seventh house, right? Our awareness of others. Moving on to Leo. Leo, you have Venus, Mars, okay, in the 8th house of shared resources. So look more into that, okay? I'm not going to go into too detailed. Now, Virgo, you're in the 9th house, okay? The 9th house is expanding your horizon. What do you need to look into more detail about? What do you need to know more about? Law, philosophy, religion, travel, higher education. So Virgo, there's something that you can do with education on this new moon, expanding your thought, your horizon, that will be really creative, beneficial to your life. Libra, you have the MC, so the attention is fully on you, okay, good or bad. Now, this is like 10th and 9th house. You'll be dealing with a lot of 10th and 9th house issues. Travel, feeling the need to travel in some aspect, okay? It's your expanding your horizon, your outer world. The 10th is your career and your own personal power, your own reputation, right? So things that have been said or unsaid, you know, is kind of like, you can't hide anything, the sun, the moon, right? That whole quote. Now, we have Scorpio in the 11th house, and Scorpio, even though all of us are vibing under the 7th house energy, we are still going to feel some aspect of what you desire, okay? You're going to be feeling that, Scorpio. Friendships, any situation with friendships that needs to be adjusted or looked at, groups, friendship goals, your aspirations, okay? Sagittarius, you have the luck of the fortune, okay, and you have the south node, so really work with both of those energies, look them up. You're also in the ascendant, so this is really focusing on the best aspect of these two things and how can they benefit you right now in your 12th house of your spiritual life. Everything spiritual, everything 12th house for you. Capricorn, you have Pluto, okay, and you have the first house issues, okay, of I am and your awareness of yourself and your self-esteem, okay. Capricorn, we have Aquarius, we have Saturn energy here, and you have the second house of your home and your money, the things you possess, your own personal resources, okay. It's what I have. So I'll say that Aquarius, you have to really plan your future retirement. I don't care who you are. This is a great time to think about your self-care. Who will take care of me when I can't take care of myself? How is this dynamic between the person that I'm living with? You know, it's really thinking about the energy of the person you're living with and really setting yourself up for the future and really using your mind and your heart and just your smarter self to deal with this, okay? Pisces, you have Jupiter, so it's in retrograde, but work with the energy. Even though Jupiter is in the second house, but also for you, Pisces, you can vibe on this too, for where you are. Also Uranus as well, okay? So connecting to that Uranus energy is going to be very beneficial for you to really deal with conflicts. I feel like that one will help you deal with any kind of conflicts that you have. Let me take a look at that. Okay, now Aries, you're in like the very private sector of the chart where you require privacy to heal, okay. You have Chiron, you have Chiron in the 4th house, okay. So we'll call it the 4th house of the home, family, your roots, your own inner security, okay. Nurturing yourself, your inner world, and more work on healing. Taurus, you have, did I say that? That one was Pluto. Okay. So I think Pisces, I want to say that's Pluto. I don't want to say the wrong one. No, that is Neptune. Okay. So Pisces, that is Neptune, and Jupiter's energy you can connect to. So with the Neptune energy, Pisces, okay, it's really that spiritual energy that you can work with in the third house, okay, and the fourth house, and the fourth house. So some of you will be feeling either house, okay. Now back to Aries with Chiron, we did that. Now Taurus with this Uranus energy, that's going to be really beneficial, and also Lilith, okay. So really trying to figure out how you approach things that don't sit well with you. How are you going to change up the energy, the vibe with that, okay. So I didn't do a card video for the full moon. I wanted to, but energetically I just couldn't. And I think that everyone benefited from that watched it. I always set the highest intention. I'll try to do a tarot, pick a card for this new moon. I want to enjoy the day. I have some other things to do, but doing this made me feel really good. Just connecting to all of this that I'm doing makes me feel so good. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I feel like it's just like a class, you know. I always try to make things perfect, but just chill and let it be what it is. So on the side image here on this video, you can see love, self, harmony, family. Okay, so that's the Cancerian vibe. Okay, and I know a lot of Cancerian people want to change the name of their sign, and I think that's pretty cool. And maybe it will. I feel like, you know, because it's associated with the dis-ease, right? And it's like, okay, we need an, if you want to change the name of it, cool. You know, I feel like it will, because that came up with someone I know that's a Cancerian. So I really feel like, you know, doing some research and seeing what other animal could be used for that sign. I totally get it, you know. But yeah, we want to focus on love, self, harmony, family, and work. Well, wherever you are in your life, you can bring as much peace to this topic as possible. It'll be better for your body, your spirit, your soul. It really is, right? Whenever you're feeling any kind of emotional, and I can't remember, it's a part of the brain and I can't remember, but it's like emotional pain, the same part of your brain reacts to that physical pain. And sometimes people don't realize that, but whatever you're going through, you have to work through it and heal, because that part of the brain, it responds to physical pain and it responds to emotional pain. And when you're going through that, it causes disruption in the body. So it's so important to really work on ourselves, right? And I put on here, your mood creates positive results. So in hard times, you see the real character of a person, you see the real character of yourself. And I think this new moon in Cancer is gonna, I want to use it to bring about healing for myself. So it's going to be a powerful moon. I was looking at some other aspects, and I will make a separate video for that, but just want to say that on July 11th, we have Mercury enters Cancer, so that would be pretty cool, okay? So that will be another powerful day to tap into some energy. So I'll try to make a video on that. I want to wish everyone a happy new moon. Set your goals, set your intention. It's a great new moon to work with water, any kind of liquid oils, making healing oils, doing a bath, anything with water and earth is a great practice that you can do on this moon. Working with your chakras, and especially the sacral chakra is a water one, a water element, and the heart chakra. So both those chakras, the sacral and the heart, is going to be two powerful ones to work with. The third would be the root. So root, sacral, and the heart chakra. Those, you know, because the Cancerian energy is very much about love and compassion for yourself. The root chakra is earth and water, they need each other, right? And then the Cancer is and then the sacral is the water, and it deals with you loving your body, birth, being pregnant, water, right? So as a water, if you like the scent of a person, if you train your mind to say you don't like someone anymore, you're going to be turned off by their scent. But if you did like their scent before, that's just an emotional anger. However, if you just met a person, you don't like their scent, that's not a good person for you. So just knowing the difference, because sometimes we make up stories, we tell ourselves things, and then we have to tell ourselves the correct things, the positive things, and go through our own healing. So the sacral chakra is about bringing the balance of good love for yourself within your body. And you can use the Venus conjuncts Mars to bring in positive love relationships in your life. So you can connect that to your sacral to bring in a new lover, a new partner, someone that will treat you right, that will be great for you. It could be the self-love of yourself, your body. So it could be all of that, you know. It could just be the healing that needs to happen. So it's really connecting to that sacral love chakra. And then the heart, of course, is loving yourself and just expanding that love all the way out, you know, to every situation, because when you do that, there's positive healing. All right, I gotta go, but happy new moon. I hope that I've said something that's really helped you. If not, ask a question. I will answer, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.